Okay, listen, I just want to give you a quick update just in case you haven't heard, okay? Now, on Friday, okay, after court was over and everything like that, the Judge Supermanian took the lawyers on both sides into, wow, look at this. Imagine if I get into an accident and like literally get unalived right there on video. Anyway, so he takes them into chambers, okay, and speaks with them, out of, the earshot of everybody. This is only the lawyers and I guess the, court reporter or whoever in there, right? This is sealed, privileged information. Nobody's supposed to know about this. Apparently, a news outlet reported on what was discussed in that room, okay? Now, what I'm hearing is that the news outlet is TMZ, okay? Or was TMZ. And what they basically said was something to the effect of juror number, I think 7, receiving a text message.
Keep right to stay on I-278 West. Follow signs for Verrazano Bridge, Staten Island.
Sorry. So the juror received a text message, and basically the text message said something to the effect of, "Are you juror number 6?" or something like that, okay? Now, this is what's being alleged, that it is TMZ, okay?
Keep right to stay on I-278 West.
I'm not sure if that is what, if that's the exact news outlet. I'm not sure. It could be. There's a good chance that it is, okay? And the reason why I think that it is TMZ is because look who's there with the guy from Harvey Levitt, okay? Look who's there with him on that podcast, Two Angry Men, all right? Mark Garagos, which is Teeny Terry, I don't know how you pronounce her name, Garagos. That's her father, okay? So the only people who would be privy to that information would be the lawyers that were in the room, or the court reporter. The court reporter is not going to say anything, right? And look, I'm not saying that the government is beyond reproach. I'm definitely not saying that, but I think the likelihood of someone
in
on the
1.5
prosecution...
miles, take exit 17 toward 92nd Street.
Sorry about that. The likelihood of somebody on the prosecution team leaking that type of information is very, very small, in my opinion. I just don't see them doing something like that. I really, really don't. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. But so this morning, before court got started, the judge actually spoke to them in front of everybody, okay? The jury wasn't there, but everybody else was there, okay? So the reporters, everybody else in the courtroom and stuff like that, and basically was like, this information, was leaked, blah, 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 and, both parties were like kind of looking like, I don't know who did that, we didn't do that, and you know what the judge said? The judge said, well, somebody's lying, okay? Somebody's lying. Look, let me tell you something, okay? Let me tell you something. I personally think, okay, that I don't like the fact that Mark Garagos is even in the courtroom, having anything to do with anything, and he's on this podcast as well. I believe that he has a personal vested interest in this somehow, some way, because his daughter is on the defense team currently. I think there's a tremendous conflict of interest with him just even being there in the courtroom, having any type of conversation with them or anything like that, okay? So anyway, it is what it is, okay? Brendan Paul is supposed to be getting on the stand today, and he is the alleged substance mule, okay?
In a quarter mile, take exit 17 toward 92nd Street.
The alleged substance mule. And the funny thing about it is, right, they're calling him one of the assistants. Child, he's one of the assistants, and he was the plug at the same time. That's crazy, okay? That's number one. Number two, apparently he
Take exit 17, then merge onto Gatling Place.
I need to turn this GPS off because I know where I'm at now. He was able to get pew-pews as well. Okay. Anyway, just a quick update.
Merge onto Gatling Place, then turn right onto 92nd
So
Street.
sorry about that. Just a quick update about what's going on. I'm going to go live a little bit later on. And
At the light, turn right onto 92nd Street.
I know this is driving y'all nuts. I'm going to go live a little bit later on and, kind of get into this a little bit further. But this is crazy. This is not good. And not only did the judge reprimand them, he said that he was going to, there's going to be an investigation. There's going to be an investigation. So what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen if there's an actual investigation and we find out that, one of the parties had something to do with leaking this information? What do you think should happen? You know what I mean? So that's the situation. Going live a little bit later, and I will see you later.